Pamela Barnett, she's a retired Army captain, and she's also involved herself heavily in this Barack Obama ineligibility campaign, as I have, and many others have. She's been actively involved in this since September 2008. She's filed several lawsuits, and she assists others in filing their own lawsuits through her organization, which is at ObamaBallotChallenge.com and ConstitutionActionFund.org. Captain Barnett has written a book entitled Obama Never Vetted, and the subtitle is The Unlawful President, the National Security Loopholes, and Ensuing Conspiracy That Endanger America. Obama Never Vetted by Captain Pamela Barnett. Pamela, welcome so much to Freedom Friday. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, listen, it's our honor. We're of one heart and mind in this, and I'm going to say this again for our listeners, and because this will be put in video format and will go out to the world, I'm going to say it again. I think I speak for you. If I ever say something that does not speak for you, you feel free. You feel free to correct it. It won't hurt my feelings because you have your own reputation to protect. But I'm going to say, and I believe you'll agree with me, all I want, and I believe all Pamela wants, is the truth. I mean, that's the only dog we have in this fight. The problem is Lieutenant Mike Zullo and that investigation, Pamela Barnett and her investigation, me and my investigation, we keep running into the brick wall of the facts. And the facts are disturbing. But all we want is the truth in this matter. Am I right, Pam?
Well, I think we already have enough truth to actually remove Obama from office.
I agree.
Yes, so it's not so much just truth, it's action, it's justice. We need justice on the matter.
Thank you. No, very well stated. Let's do this first. Let's talk about your book first, because this is a very important work. Obama Never Vetted. I mean, the title says it all. He was never vetted, and I've produced evidence on that. You have, Zullo, etc. But just give us a brief summary of your book first. Tell us about it.
Okay, the book is basically contains a vast amount of information. It covers research from the beginning, credible research from the very beginning on the issue. It includes, of course, Sheriff Arpaio's information, Mike Zullo's information on their investigation into the birth certificate and for fraudulent selective service registration. And also includes analysis on the fact that, with all the information that we know, that Obama, if he had to undergo a security background check, he would never pass one.
Yeah.
He should never be allowed anywhere near any classified information for the United States of America. And it also covers how this happened. It exposes little-known loopholes in our system that allowed someone like Obama, the foreign father, lives in foreign countries, has strong relationships with domestic terrorists,
yeah,
has assisted foreign leaders, foreign communist leaders against the Logan Act to help them try to win election. For example, Ralia Odinga.
Right.
Yeah, and
and
these loopholes need to be closed up, and every American needs to know about these loopholes. They need to know about Obama's criminality, and we need to all get together and come up with an action plan to remove him.
Yeah, he was interjecting himself in foreign affairs in Odinga's election in Kenya and in the rewriting of the Kenyan Constitution back when he was a senator and was dancing along the edges of the law and almost got in trouble for it back then.
Well, that's what brought my attention to Barack Obama. I had seen videos on him with Ralia Odinga, and then I saw the WorldNet Daily's coverage of the emails going back and forth between Ralia Odinga and Obama. Obama was actually advising him for his campaign, which is against the Logan Act.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. We've got a little bit of a delay there, but I said absolutely, you're right. It's against the Logan Act, and he got kind of called on the carpet for it when he was a senator, right?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened. I've since realized, since delving into researching the book and researching the fact that there's no vetting process for federal candidates, not just president, but for senator and for representatives, that once they get in there, it's a good old boys club, and they protect each other.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what side of the aisle they're on.
Yeah. You know, one of my biggest concerns was I think the entirety of Congress on January the 6th broke federal law and once again trashed our Constitution. Amendment 20, Section 3, makes provision, and not only provision, but requirement that when the Electoral College is certifying the candidate, that they are to verify that the person actually meets the qualifications for the office. That's constitutional. And here we go. January 6th, Congress met, they convened, they rubber-stamped it without ever seeing a single identifying document on the man that they've just placed as Commander-in-Chief.
And so even if you're going to take a person at their word, so far we've been acting on the quote-unquote honor system for the last, since we've been, our nation's been put together.
Mm-hmm.
We've never, we used to have honor in our country, but not so much anymore. Now we can't rely on this honor system. We need to look into who these people are.
Right.
We need to see, I'm not kidding, all tax returns, bank records. You need to be clean from now on if you want to run matters of our country.
Well, certainly, because you're the Commander-in-Chief. You're going to have access to top secret information. You're going to have the codes. You're going to carry the football. You're going to have the codes to the nuclear weaponry of the number one superpower in the world. You're going to have the ability to make Supreme Court justice, nominations, et cetera, et cetera.
Nominations.
Yeah,
right?
You're going to be able to sign executive orders, on and on and on. These elections matter. It matters who the president is, and now we see it. Now we see it with this whole gun control grab. Well, let me ask you. So you're a retired military captain, and I don't know how much you can say here, but just beat around the edges. People who are in the military now that you have contacts with, are they feeling a little freaked out about all of this, or they just think you and I are a bunch of nuts?
I think, like most Americans, I think there's a lot of officers that know what's going on, but I think that a lot of the lower enlisted, they just do their jobs. Just like 80% of Americans, they just go to work every day, and then a lot of these younger kids, they're deployed all the time. They don't even get access to real-time information a lot of the times, and who even knows if, I don't even know if the military, I know that the military will not let you go to some websites.
And this is stuff that just hasn't gotten out there, and you've got the scoop on it. Give it to us. Yes,
one of the exhibits in my book, it was a result of a Freedom of Information Act request to the State Department, and it was requesting passport records for Obama's mother. Also, her names were Stanley Ann Dunham Soetoro, and Stanley Ann Dunham Obama. So she had a lot of aliases herself.
Right.
But anyway, a passport record that they had provided to me and I didn't actually realize the significance of this until a few months ago. It's a passport renewal registration, and she had signed this, applied for this while she was in Jakarta, Indonesia, while Obama was still living there. And anyway, on July 18th, 1970, she signed a form to either include or exclude Barack Hussein Obama with in parentheses the name Sobarka.
How do you spell that? S-O-B-A-R-K-A? Sobarka?
K-A-H.
Okay, K-A-H.
Yes, and then on this document, that was in the section on the back side, and it's to include or exclude children. I think it might have been related to a name change, and it might have been when he was getting ready to come back to the United States. So I don't know if it was to include him or exclude his alias Sobarka while he was in Indonesia. That could have been another alias, as was Barry Soetoro while he was in Indonesia.
So what you're saying is...
Well, it was an alias. It's not a guess. It's on the document. His alias was Sobarka.
Yeah.
And on this document, there's hash marks going through those names.
Mm-hmm.
And another investigator and I, he had received the same documents. He's in New York, and his name is Chris Strunk. He received the same set of passport records. And we were sitting together in Indiana when we were going to appear as witnesses in one of the eligibility cases there. But I was denied the ability to testify there. But he was able to get some information in there. But long story there. But anyway, on this document, we're sitting there, and on the front of this document, we found that it actually says that if any of the people on this passport documents are no longer American citizens, to hash mark them out, to cross them out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was crossed out.
Good gracious. Okay.
So that means that Barack Obama was no longer a U.S. citizen according to his document.
According to his own mother, apparently, who filled it out.
According to his own mother, sworn on August 3rd, 1968, before a consulate officer
mm-hmm.
In Jakarta.
So, in other words, Pam, we don't know who this guy is. And that's the title of your book, Obama Never Vetted, The Unlawful President. We don't know. I mean, it's like you said and I said and Lieutenant Zullo said today, if we were presented with 100% legally verified evidence that, look, he's a perfect citizen, et cetera, we're fine with that. But we don't have any of that. We don't know who he is, right? We don't know. Nobody does.
Well, yeah. Well, the other problem is, besides him, his fraudulent identities and criminality is the fact that he's just not constitutionally qualified. And, under the minor versus Happersett ruling.
Absolutely. I've talked extensively about that. You're absolutely right. And then when he does post a birth certificate on the Internet, on the White House site, and holds it up in front of the world and swears it's his, an 8-month investigation with forensics labs and criminal investigators and digital document experts, they look at it and they all sign affidavits saying it's a forgery. It's not real. It's a fake. So what's up with that?
Exactly. It's our Congress is criminally complicit.
Yes, they are.
Yes, absolutely. Every one of them needs to be fired.
Well, January 6th rolled around, as I said, and they did not vet him, and they rubber stamped and approved the Electoral College. And you're right. I maintain, as you just said, that the entirety of Congress is now criminally culpable for violating the Constitution, and by their violation, they have now placed a man as commander-in-chief and given him the codes to the football. That's it's treasonous. That's a heck of a word to use, but it's criminally culpable and it's treasonous. I mean,
well, it's at the highest levels of our national defense, and
yes.
That's the White House, and it's the Congress.
Yes.
Their number one job is to defend our country.
Absolutely.
Against all enemies.
Absolutely.
How can we do that when we have when they're allowing an enemy to sit in the White House?
Yep. Do you know, Captain Barnett, we're out of time. I'm going to have you back if you would come back sometime. If I didn't scare you off with my bad interviewing techniques here, would you come back sometime?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to say that real quickly here, that you can get the book. It's only available in ebook format right now at Amazon.com.
Good.
And I wanted to let people know that the exhibits don't translate that well. I haven't been able to get the exhibits to a size that I like, where they're nicely readable.
Mm-hmm.
And my book is like 2/3 exhibits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you go ahead and you order a book and you can't see the exhibits, go ahead and email me, and I'll send you a private secure link, where you can read the book online or download it to your computer and read it.
Okay, that's
in PDF
fantastic.
format.
That's perfect. And
can I give my email address?
Yeah, you got 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Pamela Barnett
mm-hmm.
at nym.hush.com.
Pamela Barnett at nym.hush.com.
Yes, or you can subscribe to ObamaBallotChallenge.com or UnlawfulPresident.com.
Okay, fantastic.